And welcome back to the Nutrimedical Report. We are on our Independence Day sale starting midnight last night. Actually, it was 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because, of course, it was, midnight Eastern Standard Time, but 9 p.m. Eastern here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And it goes through to midnight as well on Monday, the 6th of July.
6th.
And we have all kinds of specials now, and of course...
everything is on sale again.
Yeah.
Here we go, and already we're starting to we're just shipping out as it's coming in, as the orders are coming in today, and last night we're just shipping it out at the same time. So if you really want your order to go out fast, you can put it in today, and it will go out today, because we're going to be real busy, because hopefully most everyone out there is going to be not working tomorrow and enjoying your families and your friends, as tomorrow is July the 3rd. What are you laughing at?
You look funny with your headphones on today for some reason or other. I'm looking at the smile, actually. I'm comparing your smile to the smile picture of our 2.5 months old granddaughter Matilda, and I'm thinking you look so much like her, although her eyes are bigger, more like my eyes, right?
I'll tell you why I look funny. I've been so busy the sale this morning, trying to get ready for the show. I didn't comb my hair yet. So
that's why it looks funny.
You just say it straight up. You look like that every day. Anyways.
I have that curly sheep herder head.
Swirly doos.
Yeah. So
I guess there's no need of repeating about the sale except for everyone. Yeah, please take advantage. Again, I always say it's a win-win for all of us, and it's keeps us on the air, and these sales are definitely a big part of that, aren't they, Bill?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we need your loyalty in order for us to be able to do what we do in our ministry here, providing you all kinds of free wellness information, geopolitical, spiritual information, and a level of care and quality that you're not going to find anywhere else. And of course, that's why we hope that you will get all of your nutraceutical needs here at Nutrimedical and not wander.
We pray, actually.
Yeah.
And this past June was very, very, very slow. I don't know if it's people, I know you're waiting, and I would too, from one sale to the next. But now that the sale's on, please make up for a very, 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 very slow June. How'd you like that? Because it was that slow, and I thought, okay, I guess everybody must be waiting for the sale, and that's what I prayed to God last night. And
so you have some other announcements. Tell us.
Be quiet, right?
Exactly. Let's move on to other positive things.
Very, very. Okay, Bill. Oh, hey, Henry. I talked to Henry this morning. He's our good, loyal customer, elites, and all the rest from Corona in California. And Bill, I don't know if you remember his little fella Ethan, but he had a praise report for him that he's all better, and I think he was on the silver and a couple other things I don't remember. But he has a question for you today. Oh, he had another funny praise report. Nutridyne helps him sleep. If he takes a big bunch of Nutridyne before he goes to bed, why would it help you sleep?
It normalizes your brain chemistry, and it normalizes your blood flow in your brain and your mitochondrial function, so it'll help you release your brain hormones like melatonin and so on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, why with someone like MS? Remember Isaac? It's a detoxifier too, so it can. If you're really full of toxins, what will the Nutridyne do?
It starts to push out the halide toxins and improve your mitochondria. Yeah.
Yeah. But it can make you anxious if it does that.
Not really, no. And you can buffer that with Power C and things like NutriDefense, which has the most powerful antioxidant we have, and
which when it's killing it off takes it all out, or does the Nutridyne do that?
The Nutridyne does it too. It kills lots of pathogens and helps remove the toxins. You want to grab the toxins, NutriDefense and Xenoestrin Detox. You want to flush the halide toxins. It's Nutridyne. You got to get them mobilized, and then you want to grab them and get them out of the body.
Wouldn't you still say that of all our products, still Nutridyne? If you're out there and you've never ordered, and you're thinking, boy, there's a lot of stuff over there, what would be the best thing to buy and the best product of all of Dr. Deagle's wonderful and amazing and awesome products? It would be the Nutridyne.
Yeah, and I have it in a big glass here of my SodaStream water, which has no sugar in it, with the Nutridyne. That's my drink of choice when I'm not using my super drink, which includes the Sports Energy Light, D-Ribose, and Brain Mag, ALC 1000, and this is really powerful stuff. This
and
Nutridyne.
What? And Bow Wow?
Yeah, it gives you lots of Bow Wow. It gives you lots of bark. Yeah, that's what. As I say, I'm a sheepdog for God. It gives me lots of bark and bite.
Richard. Our friend Richard from Texas, Bill. Oh my gosh, I'm full of praise reports today. This is just coincidental. You know that. It's whatever you say to me during the week that I say on the show. So I don't plan it, and it just is whoever calls and whatever you say. And he has his sister-in-law, Bill, and I think I already told you about this because it was a great praise report. She was diagnosed with lung cancer last year. And then, are you paying attention? Oh, it's Kelsey again. Kels, Mommy's on the air. Go get Chris and Mitzi. Bye-bye.
That's our 22-year-old daughter who goes on the treadmill and watches on her iPad while she exercises. Yeah, that's how she comes on the air. She's a little shy.
As I said, I was busy this morning, so I haven't been giving Kelsey enough attention there.
She'll get attention either way.
She's going to get it one way or the other, Bill.
There you go.
Anyways, I'm telling you about his sister-in-law with the lung cancer. Listen to me. And
Right.
Anyways, it went to her kidneys and her liver, and she did go on chemo and all the conventionals and everything, but then she was still really sick, and it wasn't gone, and her cancer, and Richard was sweet enough. He bought her the entire our protocol.
Our cancer protocol, yeah.
It's malignant arrest and malignant block.
Malignant arrest, malignant block, Inflammex, etc.
It was $800 worth of products.
Yeah.
And anyways, he said to me that she just went back a couple of weeks ago and she's 100% cancer-free. How could that be? I don't want to sound, I hate to
we have
exaggerate. I'm
oncomycin.
just saying what Richard said.
I've got all kinds of research on our oncomycin, for example, myco-D2.
Yeah.
Our malignant arrest, which is actually developed by Dr. Sven Giorgi. It's used in 26 countries for cancer. We just private label it. We have malignant block developed at Johns Hopkins University, ellagic acid from Nutrimedical Jabulia. We've got full vitamin K2 high power C, the only neutral vitamin C in the world, which is a mixed mineral ascorbate salt with bioperin. When you add all these nutraceuticals together, we have lots of people that just take it alone, and that's all they do, and their cancer goes away. And I've had, in the last 2 years, I would say I've had at least half a dozen cases that have told me that that's all they did. They didn't go for conventional chemo, didn't go for Brzezinski or anything else, and all.
So
that's
you
all
do this first.
That's all they did, and they got better. And I'm like, well, that surprised me. I would, if it was me, I would probably go off for dendritic vaccines and other stuff too, and hyperthermia and of course mild hyperbaric oxygen. But I'd say most people, this is the central thing. If you've got cancer, you want to be on all our nutraceuticals for cancer. Period.
Okay.
Right. That's the bottom line.
Over there.
It even surprised me.
I know Henry had another question. I can't remember what it is today. My mind on too much stuff.
You got some more questions over there, though, right?
I do. But I'll just get cut off in 2 seconds because it'll go to the thing.
No, it says
No?
you got another minute.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'll talk about this then. The first, Joanna from our customer from
Right.
Pennsylvania. She owns her own dry cleaning and
Right.
laundry business and everything.
Uh-huh.
As sweet as the day is long, if you're listening, Joanna. I know we're like the Mutual Admiration Society. She puts this on here. I highly recommend Michelle. This is sickening. I can't read this.
Right.
Because this is all accolades. This is all how great I am. And you know what? Joanna? I can't even read that in good faith. Because if I was that great, I could read it. But I don't think I'm quite that great. But I want to thank you for she posted this up on LinkedIn. By the way, that LinkedIn is driving me nuts. I canceled mine and Bill's accounts. You'll never get anything else from us about LinkedIn. My goodness. That is crazy. My mailbox is full. LinkedIn. Those social networks, Bill, I'm not a big fan of. How about you?
I think that life in the Matrix is good if you're a robot.
If you're a robot. Like Facebook. I think I'm the only person I know that doesn't have Facebook. Me and Mitzi.
You don't like it in the
Chris.
Matrix? What about Zuckerberg? Don't you think he did a good job by creating the artificial cyber world?
Well, aren't you the one that just joined up on LinkedIn?
No, I thought it was a good idea because it's a lot of professional stuff.
No,
doctors.
but it turns out to be crazy. You get stuff.
It starts branching out, spreading before you know it. You're spending so much time on LinkedIn. It's like, I'm not LinkedIn, I'm linked out. How's that? Hey.
Oh, I thought of something. Oh, you know what? A clean bill of health. A clean bill of health. Richard coined that phrase.
Oh, that's
clean
good.
bill of health.
That's a
Isn't
good
that
one.
good?
Yeah, he's funny.
He coined that,
Yeah,
Richard
yeah.
from Texas.
There you go. You're going to get a clean doctor bill of health. How's that?
Yeah, you like that from Richard.
I like that.
Clean
That's pretty.
bill of health.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Now, when he said it, he didn't even realize what he said.
Now-
He goes, clean bill of health.
Now, what we do here in Nutrimedical is very different than your conventional doc. we can integrate the best of medicine, that's why it's Nutrimedical, and functional medicine, which is living pathology. Now, when I went to medical school back in 1973, which is 42 years ago, there was no living pathology or functional medicine. We have it now with the American College for Advancement in Medicine, the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, the American Academy of Environmental Medicine. And a whole, there's 850,000 professionals just in the Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, and we have technology now, functional medicine tests and imaging and so on and genetics that can tell you what's wrong before you even get pathology, signs, or symptoms.
You're acting like I don't have any questions.
No, but the reason why I say what we're going to do is when we give these nutraceutical solutions, we're fixing things before they even give you a sign or symptom. That's what's really cool. And we fix the underlying problem. We don't cover it up, or I call spray the flashing light in the dashboard of your body. We don't spray the flashing light.
I see what you're getting at. Okay, I wonder where are you going with this?
Yeah, I'm just trying to say
42 years, blah, blah, blah.
This is far more powerful than anything your doctor is going to give you.
Okay, Bill. Foster from South Carolina. Dr. Deagle, thank you for your work. You seem to be not only a truly extraordinary and courageous individual, so you like compliments, but actually dedicated to the good. What a combination. Well, dedicated to God. He should take the good, right? Take the O, one of those O's out. He even spelled good with a capital.
Yeah, there you go.
This past February, due to medical incompetence on the part of my internist, I lost my right kidney to stones that had been forming for 2+ years and ended up literally devouring the kidney.
The most common is cystine stone, or called staghorn calculus. And if you have angle, we call low back pain or hematuria or anything like that, you want to do an ultrasound of the kidneys to make sure you don't have a cystine stone or a staghorn calculus or a thing called this blocking, and so you get an obstructive uropathy where the kidney goes by and dies. Yeah.
I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
2 weeks and 3 surgeries in hospital was not exactly a pick-me-up. 2 weeks ago, I underwent a successful
lithotripsy
to remove a single stone from my remaining kidney. Shortly before all of this happened, and after battling chronic, often debilitating back pain, which began 30 years ago, probably as a result of running too much, I decided at the age of 63 to regain some of my health. So I went and I actually spent a considerable sum of money on supplements from Alex Jones Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, Male Formula, OxyCleanse, Colloidal Silver, etc. Unfortunately, none of those helped. Oh, God. I'm going to get fired from GC. I'm just reading this stuff, okay?
Oh, I'm surprised.
You know something? I kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Let's go down to here. Anyways, I'm really desperate. And
well, the first thing is
he said, I'm living under the sword of, what's that?
Damocles. That's a Greek sword where the gods were very mad with Damocles.
Yes.
So what they did is they put a sword over his head, so if he misbehaved again, the sword would just fall and kill him.
Whew.
That's so the gods decided, hey, we'll keep a sword positioned over his head all the time, so,
Okay, here's what he wants you to do for him. He found out about you just recently, so he's excited. And he says he wants to know what products would inhibit the formation of stones.
Magnesium, potassium citrate, and bio-LVR, those two.
Very good.
If you take those two, you will not form stones again.
And next question, and help dissolve existing ones.
Those two will do it. They'll dissolve it. And the other thing that helps dissolve stones is high-dose power C and full vitamin K2, and it'll help prevent what we call metastatic calcification as well.
And he also said that he is suffering from gout.
Gout is, again, related to abnormal uric acid pathways, and homocysteine is often elevated if you take a methyl donor like L-methionine. There's also high methyl donor amino acids in things like almonds, for example. So what I tell people to do is take bio-LVR, a capsule twice a day, Sam-methyl, a sachet twice a day, superfolate, a capsule twice a day, and power muscle B12 under the tongue twice a day, and the gout will go away. And by the way, he also may have the danger if he not only forms urates, we call cystine stones, but urate. And the other danger is if he does an L-methionine challenge, he might have elevated homocysteine, which can damage the brain, the blood-brain barrier, and the blood vessel wall. So it's a major independent risk factor for heart disease. So these will also prevent that. So if you do a homocysteine test, it should be under 7. And if it's not, if it's like up to 20, you're cooking your arteries and your brain. And this will stop that.
He says, P.S. I have been plagued by an underlying congenital depression, which seems to have arisen from my feeling out of place here on this earth. At the age of 4.5 or 5, a spell would suddenly come over me, during which I stared at the sky in a state of extreme melancholy and yearning to go home. That's a young age to think like that.
No, what it is your brain chemistry. Your neurotransmitters, your body converts triazine to norepinephrine and dopamine, and the tryptase and parallase enzymes require things like bio-LVR, these other things, because if there's genetic defects or a metabolic or toxic blockade, you won't make the right neurotransmitters. So if you're trying to correct depression, I recommend those, and I'd probably add Calm Mind to that, and Brain Mag to protect your brain from oxidative stress. And the things for mood, I would use Neurival to increase energy level, which is acetyltyrosine, and which the brain converts quickly to norepinephrine, dopamine to fatigue, like MS and chronic depressive fatigue, we call low energy. And the bio-LVR, methyl paramethyl B12, and superfolate will correct the depression. In fact, they've even done studies on people that are on antidepressants and they're non-responding, and within 48 hours after being on these other things, they respond because they actually fix the underlying problem. So you don't need the antidepressant. You need to correct these, and you can measure it in platelets, the actual bioamines in your platelets, so you can actually measure if it's corrected it. So it's not a matter of, oh, does this help? No. You can actually measure the bioamines in platelets. I've done it for 20 years plus at functional medicine labs, and a quantitative EEG will also normalize.
Okay.
So, in other words, there's a science to this, and that's why popping a few longevity vitamins isn't going to fix it. You have to fix the metabolic disorder, and you have to actually, if you want to do functional medicine testing, you got to know what to do, which means you have to have my level of training, which is pretty damned advanced.
Ooh.
It's not the average doctor that's going to know what I know.
Bad word?
No, it's not a bad word. It's a word of...
Damned isn't a bad
well,
word?
no, it's not, because it's irritating to have people pretend to think they know these things and they don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done?
Yep.
Roger, in an email. Hi there. I have been suffering from symptoms for 4 years of rashes and a crawling sensation, and the stinging is unbearable, and I scratch at night. Of course, he's trying to say...
It's called neurodermatitis.
Yeah, they all go more gallons or something crazy, but it's actually... if you read on, Bill, you haven't seen this email yet, but his skin's on fire, and he goes on to say that... he goes...
we have a dermatitis protocol, neurodermatitis.
We do. What would you...
Well, the first...
He says he's noticed little things on his skin. He wonders if it's mites.
Well, first off, you can't have topical problems. What I recommend is, on the skin, you can put Nutridyne and Silver 100.
That's funny, because
and apply curcumin cream 4 times a day.
He said, I found a statement. I found someone that said that Dr. Deagle on Nutrimedical.com said that Super Silver, that was our old product, so that's Silver 100.
No, that's 5 years old,
Nutridyne.
Yeah, Nutridyne #1, Silver 100, and the neurodermatitis, which is a neurological issue. I would start off with things simple like Cognition Plus.
Yes.
Then I would probably use Neurogen and Nutrifos and Omega Supreme Krill. That'll help repair the nerves. And bio-LVR, because you often have a...
What would you do topically, the silver?
Silver, Nutridyne, and curcumin cream. Yeah, it's a neurodermatitis.
It's all over your body, mainly the silver. It'll be a lot of curcumin cream.
No, you can... Yeah, you can go want to have on your tube. So I said I want to have a motion sensor that has all of my quips from my radio show. So as you walk by, the quips go on day and night. You know, it scares off the coyotes and whatever.
Anything that's breathing.
And the witches and everything, yeah.
Bill, we're going to start... Oh, hey, Dan in Ecuador. He says, Hi, Michelle. Here's a question for Friday's question and answer show. Oh, this is funny, Bill. Are you ready for this? A friend of mine in her early 70s said she's been drinking her own urine, that almost makes me sick, for 30 years and recommended the practice to me. For some strange reason, I was skeptical. Oh, yeah, right. So I went on the net, oh boy, the sewer net, to find out more about it, and found that many advocates claim that urine therapy is a panacea, and there's practically nothing it won't cure. Oh my goodness, Bill, that internet is going to kill us all.
That's what we call
is your opinion?
Actually, I'll tell you what, the sewer net needs plumbing. How's that?
Plumbing, sewer net. No wonder I'm thinking sewer urine.
The sewer net, yeah, no. First off, you got to see what's in urine. What's in urine is albumin, globulins, right? It has lots of uric acid, which your body's trying to get rid of because it's the extra nitrogen your body tried to get rid of. It's going to have cells, dead cells, and all kinds of pyrogens from toxins and things that your body gets rid of. Because remember, your urine, your kidneys are a way of detoxifying. So you're drinking back the toxins your kidneys worked hard to get out of you. So there may be some proteins in there that the body thinks, well, if I drink these proteins, they'll turn my body off from reacting to it. No, I think that the urine drinking idea, some people think it might be homeopathy. No, homeopathy it's not homeopathic. Homeopathic means it has to be reduced enough in dosage to create a signal-to-noise ratio thing, and you can amplify it with magnetic fields, so no.
I would say the only time that you'd have to drink your urine is like that guy that gets stuck in the mountains and his legs were wedged in rocks.
Right.
And he had to do that because there was nothing else there.
Right, and that stopped her from dying, but
yeah, I mean,
it's only a limited
there
time.
You go, Dan. Hopefully that answered your question.
What happened is she was probably wedged in some rocks for 30 years.
It was a he.
He. So he was wedged in some rocks and had to drink their own urine. And of course, what it does is convince you that drinking urine is good.
I bet you a lot of our listeners know that story about that.
It's a urine psychosis.
Christine in an email. Dear Dr. Deagle, this isn't funny. My husband has been diagnosed with depression. It's another depression bill. He has been seeing a psychologist for a number of months and has been struggling with this for years. His psychologist suggested that he look into medication. He said he would never suggest this unless absolutely necessary, but the lifestyle suggestions he has given to my husband are not working. My husband's not able to function on a day-to-day basis. He sleeps a lot, has contemplated suicide, and has addictive tendencies. I have seen him slowly deteriorate over the years, and I don't know what to do. That's sad.
But depression is a seizure disorder of the limbic system. It's a non-motor area of the brain, the basal nuclei. You can correct it with Brain Mag, Cognition Plus, Brain Power, which is vinpocetine to stabilize the brain. Brain Mag is going to help a lot with magnesium. You want to repair the neural pathways with Nutrifos, Neurogen, and Omega Supreme Krill. And you want to repair the neurotransmitters with Bio-LVR, Samethyl, Paramethyl B12, and superfolate, and Arrival to raise the levels of dopamine, norepinephrine. You can increase the methylation pathways, which makes serotonin and melatonin. And when you do that, you're correcting neurotransmitter problems. Postsynaptic inhibition is basically the combination of Posinol, which is 2 soft gels 3 times a day, and lots of Calm Mind. I like the Calm Mind Brain Mag combination is really good for raising it. And during the day, the energy, I recommend Brain Mag and the Sports Energy Light with D-ribose, ALC 1000, and also add the new product we've added called NADH, which raises the electron density of the cytochromes in your mitochondria to raise energy levels. So basically, when you have depression, it's a biochemical and mechanical problem of the physics and the biochemistry of the brain. So psychologists can deal with life changes and interactive and social patterns, but unless you fix the underlying biochemistry, all drugs do is try to convince you that a toxic drug is a replacement for normal brain chemistry. It's a stupid thing. In fact, the doctors that pump people up with antipsychotics and antidepressants, they themselves are psychotic.
Kino, our friend Kino from his iPhone in New York. Kino, I did tell you, I did get your email. He tried to send it to me a few times this week. I did get it, and here we go with your questions. First is about his grandfather, who's in the hospital with congestive heart failure, Bill, and he's in another country.
First off, what congestive heart failure is? A failure of your mitochondria in your heart and blood vessels. Your heart does a primary wave to pump blood through your body, but the blood is primarily pumped by your blood vessels. And they do a peristaltic contraction similar to the movement of a snake when it swallows something. And with that, same with your esophagus or your GI tract. And that wave pushes the blood along with nitric oxide and contraction of the mitochondria and the smooth muscle in your artery wall. So you start off with a couple simple things. Cardiovasc, which is our new version of Cardivite. Gamma E+, Vascucare, right? Vascucare. CoQ10 ubiquinol is the first one. You want to take at least 3 twice a day, and the Vascucare 1 to 2 twice a day, and CoQ10 Supreme. The magnesium glycinate malate is very important. When you use that combination, you'll notice that they'll start to diurese. You can diurese with Venaway to improve circulation, 2 capsules twice a day, and high-dose Power C to pull the fluid off, because congestive heart failure, you get what's called feed-forward blockage, and the Venaway and the Power C Plus will pull the fluid off. You'll see his mitochondria start to come back over the next couple of weeks, and the fluid come off, and he'll start to have less and less signs of congestive heart failure. If you do a echocardiogram, you'll see the heart function start to improve. Blood pressure drops, perfusion improves, and heart failure starts to go away. It's basically mitochondrial failure. If his blood sugar's high, you got to get it under control. And I recommend diabetoline, chromium cruciferate and glycemics, and carboblock. And then because the most common thing is you see somebody with diabetes or pre-diabetes, and they have hypertension and they go into heart failure.
Aquino also says he'd like a protocol for sexual stamina and longevity, and he'd like to purchase those products ASAP. And he says, may God bless you and your family and love and respect.
Men's Max, 4 capsules in the morning will release male hormone. 2 of the hormone synergy will make sure you don't convert to female. 2 tablets of DHEA and 1 of pregnenolone, that's 25 milligrams each. That's 50 milligrams for male and 100 milligrams of pregnenolone. Enhanced for men, 1 capsule twice a day, but you got to make sure your blood pressure is under control when you take Enhanced for men. And that will correct sexual dysfunction, to improve circulation, cardiovascular. Supernox, which releases nitric oxide, helps with erections. And of course, vascular health, the ellagic acid, and Omega Supreme Krill, particularly for healing the blood vessel walls, and Omega Supreme. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to restore nitric oxide metabolism for erectile function. And that's all these other drugs like Cialis and Viagra do, is nitric oxide.
Oh, remember I talked about Isaac earlier? I was asked the question about the Nutridyne, which you answered. He had a praise report here. You know Isaac, right?
Right.
Talked about, because he's been really sticking closely to his MS, multiple sclerosis, and he's been sticking very closely to the protocol.
MS
He's been with us for about 4 months now.
And we keep on tweaking it. The key is you got 3 kinds of free radicals that the nervous system develops: nitroproxy radical, singlet oxygen, and hydroproxy radical. Nitroproxy radical, you're going to settle down as you take things like NutriDefense. Hydroproxy radical, the cell detox glutathione, Nutricella, Regenerex, and singlet oxygen, carnosine. Carnosine for singlet oxygen.
Yeah, he's on it.
And then you remyelin it. You only need 4 layers of myelin, and then you start to restore saltatory nerve conduction.
Interestingly, he follows the protocol, so even though it's long and it's big to a T.
Yeah.
He has more clarity of thought. He said, I continually have more clarity of thought, more problem-solving ability, better balance, less muscle tremors, and visual tremors, and more energy.
Praise the Lord.
That's great. And I always look at those protocols and go, oh my gosh, it's so much, but he sticks to it.
Yeah, and he's getting better with MS. He had a more aggressive form, too, so that's a miracle.
That is.
Questions?
Well, I'm just reading some of these emails. This one here is quite striking. Kimberly, in an email, Bill says, first I want to start off with saying thank you for your hard work and intelligence, and so on. That said, I need to reach out to you for some help with my daughter. She is strikingly beautiful and was planning to marry a second-year nursing student, and much to my dismay, he convinced her to get on the pill at 20. She then went to see a butcher, in my opinion. I later found out she had gotten all of her training at Planned Parenthood. No,
it's not Planned Parenthood. I've renamed
it. But let me
Planned
finish.
On Parenthood.
Let me finish.
What do you think?
I think you're going to let me finish, right?
I know, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
She put on her on Lutera, Lutera. In 2 weeks, my daughter, without a blemish, erupted into severe acne and scarring. Her beautiful face, unbelievably. I took her to 2 supposed top doctors for dermatology, and they both said that Accutane or else you will never recover. This was intimidating for her, as you can't imagine. She's off the pill entirely and chooses not to take Accutane, but she's left with a collateral damage and is very depressed. She's lost her beautiful skin.
Well, the first thing is, number one, you don't want to be on the pill. You want to measure your female and male hormone levels in saliva. So you use directlabs.com, and you can do a saliva test, and it'll tell you. You want to take, for the hormone normalization, hormone synergy, 2 capsules in the morning. It'll stop you converting female hormone to male, because often when this happens, it's like polycystic ovarian syndrome. You're generating in your ovaries male hormone.
Is that what causes the acne?
Yeah, and the birth control pill affects the ovaries, so they change their internal metabolism.
Oh. What happened to you, Bill? Are you okay?
Planned On Parenthood made me choke.
Boy.
Anyway, I got my Nutridyne here. I'm fine.
Okay.
So basically, what she needs is the topically on the skin. I would you remember now, the skin gets infected because you get fatty acids. So you take Neovasc to normalize the fatty acids. You take Nutrifos and Neurogen to help to create new skin, and Collagen Max to create new healthy skin, and then you get laser surgery by laser dermatologist. They can actually laser out the old scar tissue in the old areas and defoliate the area, and it'll heal up. Then you don't want new acne to develop, so that's why the hormone synergy and the other things I mentioned there to prevent infection. I would recommend topically Nutridyne and Silver 100, curcumin cream anti-inflammatory, Neurogen, Nutrifos, and Omega Supreme Krill and Collagen Max to heal and create new skin.
Michael, our friend Michael.
And she'll heal, and she'll be beautiful again.
She will be beautiful again, Kimberly, don't worry. Michael from Maine, what is the shelf life of Omega Supreme and cod liver liquid?
If you keep it in the fridge or in a cold place that's 70 degrees, out of the sunlight, it's good for a couple of years.
Okay, Pam. Hey, Pam from Chicago, Bill. You remember Pam?
If it's in the refrigerator, it can last probably 5 to 10 years. Refrigerate down like a 30 at around 40 degrees or lower.
Does that mean you do remember Pam, or you don't remember?
I do.
Pam?
I remember Pam. Yeah.
Okay, you do.
I do.
My friend. Hi, Michelle. If a protocol calls for taking a multiple number of Nutrimeds, for example, 5 Inflamex twice per day, does it matter if the dosage is taken all at one time, such as 5 at one time and then 5 at another time during the day, or can you take one pill every hour or so throughout the day?
Yeah, I can take it throughout the day. Is fine too. In fact, in some ways it may be better because then you don't have a big surge. And you can also make it as a smoothie and take it, open up like a couple capsules, say 2 or 3 capsules 3 times a day, and make a smoothie of it so you have the total.
And sip on it.
Sip on it.
Also, generally, is it most effective to take Nutrimeds in the morning or before going to bed, or does it matter?
I usually recommend Nutrimeds before you go to eat, but some Nutrimeds are particularly good before bed, like Indiamese, Bio-LVR for sleep, Melatonin TR. To be honest with you, most of them it's best to take before food because then you're taking it before food when the food comes down later. Except for things like bone generator you want to take after. That's one of the few that you want to take for 35 to 40 minutes after a meal. You have the maximum bicarbonate coming in the second part of the duodenum, so you get maximum mineral absorption.
And Pam says, Happy Independence Day weekend. Hey, Happy Independence Day to you too. Happy July 4th. Next is Ron from Washington. Have a friend who wants to get off anti-rejection drugs after a kidney transplant.
Well, first off, if they've had a rejection, they have natural killer cells that are identifying the tumor. And so what you're trying to do is you want to turn off that cytokine production that triggers off the attack. So high-dose Power C is the first thing. You want to get 30 to 60 grams a day in full vitamin K2. You want to turn off the DNA damage that triggers off the autoimmune reaction. So high-dose ellagic acid and malignant block are very helpful. And the one that helps stop autoimmune diseases is Malignant Rest. We use the same treatment for autoimmune disease, cancer, and organ rejection. Malignant Rest will actually affect the hexose monophosphate shunt, which allows your body to generate antigens that stimulate the body to attack an organ. So we use the Malignant Rest. It's basically the same protocol we use for cancer, we use for autoimmune diseases and organ rejection. So the cancer protocol we have will work for that too.
Wow, this is from Glenn in Sydney, Australia. This is like the day of controversy here because he goes, Dr. Bill, I'm fortunate enough to have discovered you recently on GCN, and I'm totally amazed, so on, at your brilliant mind. He says he's also a believer. That's wonderful.
That's good, because they should know how I get answers to questions.
But he goes
First off, I go to my database, number 1.
Yeah.
Or number 2, I'll go back and research and work like a maniac. Number 3, which is the most important, is if I get in prayer and I ask God for an answer. And most of the time, 90% of the time, God's the source of the answer in prayer.
His question is about the nascent iodine that is being sold somewhere on the network, and ours. What is the difference?
Well, first off, it's not even the same product. The only monoatomic Tesla-activated iodine in the world is ours, period. Everything else is garbage and it's toxic, too. Yeah.
The other one he says is glycerin in it. What is that?
Yeah, glycerin is basically trying to say that it's less toxic. If it's an iodide, it actually can be very toxic beyond the 10th day. That's why even the government shut down 4 years ago when Fukushima happened. online sales for potassium iodide and other iodides, Lugol's iodine, iota caps, etc., because they're very toxic. And when you take our monoatomic iodine, it's the opposite. It protects your thyroid, regenerates the gland, protection from radiation, stimulates new mitochondriogenesis. They're not equivalent at all.
He wants to know if Coveram, 5 milligrams, looks like that's is that an Australian name or something, because it looks like this is for blood pressure.
Right.
He wants to know if this drug is bad for his brain.
Well, I have to know what Coveram is.
It looks like it's because it's Australia. What does that say? Per that one there.
Oh, I know that. That'll be. You can tell it's basically an ACE inhibitor.
Yeah, Australia.
And the amlodipine is the Coveram. I wouldn't use that because I'd use an ACE receptor blocker.
And look what he's worried about. Is it bad for his brain?
Yeah, actually, the amlodipine will make your brain shrink and destroy your IQ.
Oh.
So amlodopine's bad. The Coveram, I just switched to an ACE receptor blocker because ACE inhibitors, what they do is they'll give you a cap and cough because they block the breakdown of bradykinin, and bradykinin makes you have a cough reflex.
Oh.
So you want to be on an ACE receptor blocker. You won't get a cap and cough, and it also protects your blood vessel walls. They did research on Ebola, and they found that ACE receptor blockers help to protect the blood vessel wall, but even better is our ellagic acid and malignant arrest and omega supreme krill for Ebola people. If you just get one, I would say ellagic acid and omega krill and malignant arrest, those three.
And we ship to Australia.
And we ship to Australia, but we have a hypertension protocol, which I've always am updating. But I tell people, don't take these things. If you're going to take anything for blood pressure, take a mild diuretic from your doctor and an ACE receptor blocker, but do not ever take a calcium channel blocker or a non-selective beta. So you want to take only like Corig or cardioselective at a very lowest dosage possible. Because if you take a higher dosage, you'll get 4 things in men: fat, bald, impotent, and stupid.
Oh, gee, I think the next question was a good question. I'll save it for next week. Well, because
what are you going to wish people?
Here.
What will you wish people, Michelle?
I'm going to wish people a very happy Independence Day, 4th of July, barbecue, friends, family. Remember, we're grateful to God. I don't have to tell everybody to remember that. You remember that probably better than me. But to remember to thank God for everything.
Yeah. Pray for us here at Nutrimedical.
Yes.
Pray that we prosper in our ministry and our radio show. Yeah, support us with your prayers, and I'll get all your NutriMeds needs here. We will be here for you. Again, we're your online and your radio doctor here to try to help integrate the best of medicine and wellness.
God bless you. Have a great weekend.
The special is on, 7%, 7 for Heaven sale on top of even previous sale prices and free shipping. Can't beat it.
Wow. I'm impressed.
All right, so suddenly Walmart, eBay, Amazon, everybody